Nestled deep in the mountains of Korea, far from bustling cities and modern technology, lay a village cloaked in secrecy. The locals called it Gaeryong-ri, a name that brought mixed feelings to those who knew of it. Some believed it was a haven, untouched by time, where nature thrived and life was simpler. Others whispered rumors of strange happenings, unnatural lights glowing in the forest at night, faces that didn't quite feel human. For years, the village stayed hidden, its name barely mentioned, and its location absent from modern maps. That was until Jiwoo, a bright young artist from Seoul, decided to visit. Jiwoo was growing tired of the monotony of her routine. Constant digital noise, deadlines, the polluted city air. She needed to escape. She had read about Gaeryong-ri on an obscure online forum titled Hidden Mysteries of Korea. The post spoke of captivating landscapes, ancient traditions, and, most intriguingly, a glowing orb said to reside in the village temple. The orb had no name but was revered and feared equally by the villagers. Jiwoo saw the trip as inspiration for her next painting series, but unknowingly, she would become part of a story much larger than herself. When Jiwoo stepped out of the rattling bus that dropped her at the edge of the village, an instant chill ran down her spine. The beauty of the surroundings was undeniable. Golden fields, steep mountains shrouded in mist, and a sky so clear it felt otherworldly. But there was something odd, something she couldn't quite name. The villagers greeted her with polite smiles, their eyes darting toward her just long enough to notice she was an outsider. Yet despite their hospitality, Jiwoo couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Over the next few days, strange coincidences began piling up. She noticed that at exactly 7:23 every evening, the streets would empty, doors would lock, and the village grew ghostly silent. When Jiwoo asked why this happened, the villagers deflected her questions with vague answers about tradition or respect for the mountain spirits. This only made her curiosity grow. She also noticed something unusual about the people. Too many of the residents looked eerily similar: perfect skin, symmetrical features, and hauntingly sharp eyes that seemed to glow in dim light. On her third day, Jiwoo made her way to the temple, drawn by tales of its enigmatic orb. The building was a weathered structure, its wooden beams etched with faded carvings of the cosmos, stars, planets, constellations Jiwoo didn't recognize. When Jiwoo stepped inside, a soft, unearthly hum filled the air. In the center of the room sat the orb, about the size of a soccer ball, floating silently in midair. Its surface pulsated with dim hues of blue and green, as though it were alive. For a moment, Jiwoo was struck with overwhelming awe, yet an instinctual discomfort lingered. As she reached out to the orb, a voice startled her.
You mustn't touch it.
Jiwoo turned to see an elderly woman with a cane. Her face was heavily wrinkled, but her posture and piercing gaze radiated an ageless quality. The woman introduced herself as Yuna, the village elder.
The orb is not for your kind.
Jiwoo's curiosity overcame her fear.
What is it? Why do people fear it?
Yuna hesitated before offering a cryptic explanation.
It keeps balance here, protects the village from what lies beyond.
But Jiwoo wasn't satisfied. That evening, she snuck back into the temple, her heart pounding with each step. She had decided that if no one else was going to tell her the truth, she'd find it for herself. The orb seemed to react to her presence, pulsing faster as Jiwoo approached. She reached out and, ignoring a rising sense of dread, placed her hand on its surface. Time stopped. For a moment, Jiwoo saw images flashing in her mind, unrecognizable faces, stars exploding in eerie silence, and a towering figure standing amidst shadows. When she pulled her hand away, the hum from the orb had ceased, replaced by silence so profound it was deafening. She stumbled back, breathing heavily, and that's when she noticed the villagers gathering outside the temple watching her. Their gazes were colder now, as though Jiwoo had committed an unspeakable sin. I warned you. Yuna's voice came from behind her, trembling with anger. Suddenly, the orb flared with light, filling the room with an unnatural blue glow. Jiwoo shielded her eyes, but she could feel something shifting. When the light dimmed, Jiwoo's jaw dropped. Standing among the villagers now were figures who no longer bothered to appear human. Taller, elongated, with skin that shimmered faintly like the surface of the orb, the villagers' true forms were exposed, their sharp, glowing eyes fixed on her. You weren't supposed to break the balance, Yuna whispered. Jiwoo staggered backward as Yuna explained the truth. Gaeryong-ri was not a simple village, it was a refuge. The villagers were not human, but aliens, survivors of a forgotten war across galaxies. The orb, their last remnant of home, cloaked them from detection while maintaining their humanoid forms. Jiwoo's touch caused a ripple through its core, temporarily severing its power. Worse yet, the orb acted as a signal, a beacon. A loud rumble shook the ground, and Jiwoo's stomach turned as the village sky grew brighter. She stepped outside to see what caused the light. What she saw made her breath hitch. Silhouettes of immense ships hovered above the mountains, descending slowly. The orb's glow, which had begun to return, reflected in the ominous crafts. Yuna's voice rang out.
You've woken them. They have come to finish what they started.
Jiwoo didn't wait to hear the rest before she bolted toward the forest. The events around her spiraled into chaos. Villagers defending their home, streaks of light streaming down from the sky. With every step through the darkened woods, Jiwoo could feel something, some immense presence, pursuing her. But the orb's glow remained in her mind, seared in her vision. As alien as it seemed, something about it felt more than otherworldly. It felt alive, connected to both her and the invaders. By dawn, the turmoil had subsided, the hovering crafts vanished. Jiwoo, breathing heavily and hiding on the forest's edge, found herself alone. The village was silent once more. Before departing, she returned to the shattered village. The orb still floated in the temple, but its glow was weaker now.
You are tied to it now, and it to you. Whether this world will endure depends on your choices.
Jiwoo left Gaeryong-ri that day. Her life forever changed. She couldn't decide if the orb had been a blessing, a curse, or simply something beyond comprehension. One thing was certain: its purpose had only just begun to reveal itself. Before we wrap it up, what do you think the orb's purpose truly is? Let us know your theories in the comments below, and make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss more awesome stories like this one. Who knows? Maybe next time we'll uncover an even greater mystery. See you in the next one.